You got Leon D here, and we're going to talk about food. I'm not an expert on anything to do with food, but I've been around a long time, and I am a professional barbecuologist. I know food. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I know a lot of things that you may not like. That's the intro for Leon D. Let's get it on. Tonight, we're going to talk about something that's we need to talk about. It's a lot of people out there. I mean, a lot. You got to clean your grills. You got to clean your smokers. You just got to do that. Now, and the reason I brought that up because this past weekend I went to a guy house and he cooked some chicken. The chicken tastes like brisket, because he had just cooked brisket last week in the exact same spot for about 16, 18 hours. He didn't wrap it. He had grease running all down, fat burning off it. So I can imagine how the grease felt. And I can imagine even worse how it tasted. So that was the brisket. Well, he put chicken in the exact same spot. Exact same spot. And it tasted like it too. And see, the reason I brought this up, people, because some people say, hey, I didn't clean my grill because it's seasoning. No, 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 no. It's not seasoning. When the when the fats is hanging off the grates, your grill grates, you see stuff hanging on the bottom of it, almost touching your charcoal or almost touching your drip pan for your uh, for your pellet grills. No, no, no. That's not seasoning. You got to clean your grills every now and then. It's just nasty when you look at it and you say, "This guy hasn't cleaned this grill in God knows how long." So you got to do some work. See, I do what I call maintenance on my smokers and grills every year. Because see, the bottom line is simple. If you got something that's mechanical, it's gonna break at some point. So what I do, I go through, I tighten all the screws up on my Traegers because if it's mechanical, it's gonna break at some point. So I tighten everything up. Generally around the end of the year, I do that when I get ready to close my grills or my smokers for the season. Usually around October, November, I close them up when the weather gets all cold and snowy and whatever. And see, if you people down there are doing the exact same thing, you know, some of you don't even cover your grills or smokers. You leave them out in the elements. Well, guess what? Some of you, I've seen swirls and other dead things in your smokers, and you throw food right on top of that after you see a dead squirrel in there. No, go and clean it. Get a steel brusher, get a Brillo pad or something. Just clean it. Now, the way I normally do, I clean my grills and smokers after every single time I barbecue. If I barbecue on Sunday, I promise you I'm gonna clean it on Monday. If I barbecue on Saturday, I'm gonna clean it on Sunday. And see, you buy all this degreaser and all the other stuff. I don't use none of that. But I do have a thing that clean grates on grills. And the good thing about that, I have that because the good thing about it is that if I put it on while the grill or smoker is still hot, all the other stuff, the residue, the grease, or whatever, it falls right off. I don't clean it when it's cold. I clean it when it's very, very hot. See, some of your people, and especially see some of your friends, they should never let you see their grills. But most of them get excited and want to show you their grills because they want to show you what they're grilling. The fact is, if you look at half, nah, I'm not gonna say half, all your friends, look at their grill grates, look at the bottom of it. You got stuff falling in your coals and stuff, falling in your drip pans on the pellet smokers and all the other kind of stuff. It's kind of like if you don't clean your grill and you are a grillologist. I can imagine your house on the inside. You're probably not cleaning that as well. So I'm going to show you a couple of videos that you'll see me preparing food. I prepare a certain way. I use a lot of gloves. I mean, a lot of gloves. I don't let my hand touch meat. Nope, I don't. Because, like I said, I like for you to taste the meat and not whatever I had in my hand before my hand touched the meat. Some of you don't care. You're licking your fingers and you're touching the food. You know, I tend to use a lot of different tongues too. I got one I use for raw meat only. I got one I use for red meat only. I mean, for cooked meat only. And I'm the same way when I clean my grills. I'm very particular about how I clean my grills. And, there have been times when I've cleaned my grills and it's taken me as much time to clean my grill as it does to go wash my truck. So it takes me a while because I like for it to be a certain way. And I also fill up my pellet smokers with pellets once I finish using the smoker. Because when I'm ready to smoke food, I don't want to be cleaning. I don't want to be cleaning before I got to use it. I like to be able to just fire it up and start using it right away. So I like for everything to be clean when I finish. It's kind of like dishes in your house. Do you really want to be washing dishes prior to using them, which is nasty? Or do you want to have the dishes clean after you get through eating? So that's how I treat my smokers and my grills. I want everything to be done when I finish. Now, when I finish, I like to start cleaning up and getting things ready. So I treat my grills and smokers the exact same way. Exact same way. So when you have a big barbecue or you got friends over, think about what they're thinking. Now, if they're drinking a lot, they really don't think. But if somebody like me, DJ Leon, come over there, I'm going to notice all that. I'm going to notice that you touching food with your hands, raw food, cooked food. You don't have a priority or preference. You just touching stuff. Me personally, I just don't do that. I just do not do that at all. So think about it. And do you really want them to see you doing things? And your little nasty little kids with runny noses and stuff, they're gonna touch stuff. You don't mind because you're used to it. No, your friends mind. And plus, I don't like any and everybody using my grills or my smokers. I like using my own because I know where the cold spots, I know the hot spots. And think about it, when you're cleaning it, you know that your hot spots need to have a little more cleaning, a little more thorough than your cold spots. But to me, I clean both of them the same. I actually lift up my grates and clean underneath because, like I said earlier, I don't want drippings and some stuff, leaves, leaves and all the other stuff just falling between the cracks. To say it in a better way, falling between the cracks. Some of you don't care. Some of you haven't cleaned your smokers or your grills probably get 15, 20 years. When I get ready to use my grills, my smokers, what I do, I spray a little Pam on the grates. I spray Pam on the grates because of two reasons. One, I like those marks that the grates give all foods, especially pork chop. I like those hash marks. And the second thing too, I want my beef to taste like beef. I want my pork to taste like pork. And I want my chicken to taste like chicken. I don't want my chicken to taste like the last thing that I cooked in that spot. Now, I don't really mix up my meat on different cookers and smokers. What I normally do, I cook all my chicken on one, and I cook all my beef on another, and I cook my pork on the same when I cook my chicken. If not, I use a third smoker. So I fire it up. I use a third smoker. But that's just me because I got three of them. I can do that. But even if I had one, I will cook my chicken on one side, my pork on one side, and my beef on another side. Now, saying that, beef takes usually the longest to cook if I'm doing a brisket. So all my brisket normally go in the same spot. Chicken don't take very long. So all my chicken go to what I call my cold spot. My beef goes to my hot spot. And then normally I put pork in the middle. But all of my smokers and my grills are big enough that I can put a lot of food on it. Now, those of you with grills with wheels and everything else, you can put a lot more food than I can on mine because those things can go up to 45,000 square inches of cooking surface, and mine's a good usually 1,000. But saying that, one of the things too, when I said earlier, I do a lot of maintenance on mine, and because if you got mechanical parts, whether it's a screw, whether it's a nail, whether it's a wheel, even on my wheels, when I get ready to put it away for the winter, I put WD-40 on them, just a little bit, a little dab of do you, so when the next season comes, it's kind of like a pool opening. All I gotta do is just take the cover off, and some of you don't even have covers on any of your stuff, and that really bothers me. The stuff without the covers, you gotta think about it. It's been sitting out through the elements for the entire wintertime. It's been sitting out the entire time, so you gotta think about, you haven't cleaned it, you haven't did anything to it, you just open it up and throw frozen meat on it. No, that's just not me. Some of you are like that, and I totally get that. But you got to think about the people you're serving, and hey, this is really really good. This pulled pork is great, or you can say, hey, this chicken thighs are wonderful. Do you ever wonder if you didn't have all the elements, the kill rat or kill squirrel, that flavor mixed in with your nice, expensive, time-consuming seasoning that you made? Do you ever think about, how would it taste if you didn't have that little element there? It's like when people put barbecue sauce on their food. Now, I'm not a big fan of putting barbecue sauce on food that I'm cooking. And the reason I'm not, because not everybody likes a lot of barbecue sauce. Not everybody wants a little. So I kind of let you pick your own. But what I do see is that the barbecue sauce is all on the grates. The barbecue sauce is hanging off, because the fat burned off and it done built up on your grates. And barbecue sauce is now on that particular part of the grates. And I don't like doing that at all. No. So that's why I clean mine after I use them. I've been told before that I spend more time cleaning a grill than I do anything else. But my goal is to tell you guys, man, be careful. Just don't tell me it's seasoning, and that seasoning has been there for 20 years. No, that's not seasoning. That's just nasty. And so that all depends on you. But some people say, oh, I don't need to clean it because, I done broke it in or whatever. You can break it in without it tasting different. So my whole goal is to tell people that's important as all the other preparation you're doing to make that meat taste as good as possible. And then if you sell the food, Jesus Christ, if you sell the food, you gotta clean it. You clean, well, I'm going to assume this. I clean all meats before I even prep them to put them on a smoker or a grill. I clean all meats. The only meats I don't, and I wash it off with just cold water, is ground meat. Anything else, I clean. I've never taken food out of the fridge and put it directly on a grill or a smoker. Never done that. Now, I know quite a few of you have done that. Not me. No, that's nasty too. Because most of the food, when you buy it packaged, is bloody. And if it's not bloody, probably because it's been frozen forever. But if you're buying it the day you're using it, it's probably bloody. So you need to clean the blood off. But some of you may see that has seasoning as well. Oh, that's just good seasoning. No, that's it. That's blood. Okay? So, your boy DJ Leon is telling you, you don't want to get bacteria. You don't want to get some disease. And think about it. A lot of you had grills and smokers before COVID. You had the same one during COVID. And I know you think you done burnt off all of the germs and bacteria and viruses. You think you done burnt it off with that smoker. You say, oh, I burnt the hell out of that COVID. No. Your smoker and your grill, not every particular part is touched by fire. Nope, not at all. I mean, my firebox isn't. And if I put my hand out there, oh well, guess what? Your sneeze could still be there. Oh yeah, now everything's burnt off. Your sneeze could still be there. And the fact that I don't take my grills very seldom do I go above 250. Very rarely. Because I like slow cook with a lot of smoke. I don't mean liquid smoke. So the maintenance of grills is just as important as anything else you're doing. And maintenance really can make your grill last a lot longer. You don't see the rattles, the hinges being all crooked. You don't see a lot of that stuff because you're doing the maintenance before things go bad. Some people just walk out there, I don't know what's wrong with this grill. I don't know why this firebox isn't working. I don't know why the door fell off. And then you can't find the screws to put it back on with. Well, if you'd have did it once a year, you wouldn't have that problem. You would have known which screw was loose. You'd have known all that. So that's your boy Leon D just telling you. Do maintenance, clean the grills, don't call it seasoning, call it laziness, call it what it is. You're just lazy, or you could be dumb too. I mean, you didn't pick your DNA. You didn't pick your DNA. Blame your parents. Because, if they'd had better DNA, you would have thought about all this stuff. But also, you can look at videos, and they'll tell you a lot how to clean all of them. Okay, that's Leon D, and I'll see you next week.